Opening weekend at Coors Field, presented by McDonald's new Premium McWrap. I'm loving it. And the fans are loving what they've seen so far from the Rockies in 2013. They're off to a 4-1 start, looking to sweep the Padres this afternoon. A little Sunday afternoon baseball at 20th and Blake. Welcome inside. Glad you're along as always with my partner George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. So much has been made the first few days about the Rockies offense, and well, it should be a point of note because they've really stung the baseball. They're hitting the ball out of the ballpark. But let's not forget the pitching, George. They've been terrific.
They have been. I think if there's been any hiccup at all, it's De La Rosa over in Milwaukee. Other than that, these guys have pitched very well. 6 2/3, 6-6-6. And giving your team an opportunity to win, and particularly the two veteran guys. 3 runs given up in 12 innings between the two of them. Of course, Nicasio and Chacin, and their 2-12 and a third plus innings. You look at that, 3 runs given up. So they've done their job and allowed this offense to go with it. And Chacin, I thought, really controlled his emotions very well. Think about it. Mom and Dad seen him for the first time in the United States, pitching on opening day in Milwaukee. I thought he commanded, controlled everything very, very well. Very good control of his slider, and at the end of the day, a handshake and a high five, well deserved for Jhoulys Chacin.
Yeah, the irony is the Rockies did not win that baseball game, but of all the starts, and most of them have been very, very good, Chacin's probably the best, and that was the one game the Rockies did not win. We'll come back. We'll talk about Michael Cuddyer. He has been on fire. afternoon. Jolie Chassin, who will again pitch in front of mom and dad, walking in with Waleed Rosario and pitching coach Jimmy Wright back upstairs, Drew Goodman and George Frazier. And we talked a little bit about pitching. Now we're going to talk some more about the offense. Michael Kadire in the opening game, 0 for 5. That happens. Plenty of those ball games out there. Since then, George, 9 for 15, couple of bombs, 7 ribs.
Well, I think what happens with this lineup more than anything else, when a guy does have a bad day, it gets covered up because other guys are having great days. So you didn't even think about Kadire's 0 for 5 because of what everybody else did at the plate that day. It's kind of the same thing now. But all of a sudden out on the forefront, just what you're talking about, the big RBIs. 4 RBI day yesterday, which was the 14th time in his career that had happened. That's huge. 14 times, 4 RBIs in a ball game. Oh, by the way, he's 5 RBIs numerous times also. But it just tells you how stacked up this lineup is, and there's a reason he got the contract that he got. He's a very good run-producing player.
Absolutely. He's being given the day off. Troy Tulowitzki as well. We'll talk about the Rockies lineup when we come back. We are set for baseball. Rockies and Padres. Colorado looking for the sweep. Come on back to Coors Field with us. Sports is brought to you by your 7 neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. By Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. By Wells Fargo, get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. Sunday crowd gathering, and you'll note the later start time by 1 hour, and that will be a new tradition this year. In years past, it had always been a 1:10 start on Sunday. This year, the Rockies moving to 2:10. One of the reasons given is to give the players an extra hour of rest after what sometimes is a late Saturday night. Jordan Pacheco getting the start at first base today, part of the Sunday tradition in Coors Field, as young fans are out there to get a little autograph, get to meet a big leaguer. There's Everett Cabrera. He will again lead things off for Bud Black. 7th year for Bud Black at the helm of the San Diego Padres, and here is his Southwest batting order. Will Venable will be in center field today. He'll bat second. And then the veteran Mark Kotsay getting a start in right field. Yonder Alonso at first base. So no Carlos Quentin in the lineup. That's their big bat. Jed Jerko started every ball game, the rookie out of West Virginia, former number 2 pick in the draft, a second-round pick, I should say. In left field, it'll be Kristen Orpia, Alexia Marista, John Baker, former Florida Marlin, and Edinson Volquez.
Well, the numbers on Chassin this year: 3 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Did a very good job in that very first start. Chassin's first start: 7 ground ball outs, 8 fly ball outs, and 6 strikeouts. So a year ago was a tale of 2 tapes. Obviously, when he was hurt, didn't pitch very well, 730. But after that, oh my, 9 starts, 284 on run average.
Take a look at the gloves behind him. I'll tell you what, we'll do that after Everett Cabrera steps in. We're going to ID some of the guys right now. Reed Brignac's getting a start at second base. He's gotten a start at third base. Johnny Herrera is at shortstop today. Tulowitzki being given a day off. Eric Young Jr. is out in right field for Michael Kadire. And Pacheco is at first base for Todd Helt. There's EY. So Cabrera will step in, and Chassin is ready to go in his second start of the year. The first pitch poured over the outside corner, strike 1 at 89 miles an hour.
Velocity not a big thing, location and movement the biggest. And what I watched yesterday with John Garland and the day before with Jeff Francis, never panicked, lower half of the strike zone, pounded the strike zone at the knees and below. Yesterday, the Rockies had 17 ground ball outs in the ball game. Huge.
Goes fastball again, just off the plate. Yeah, I mean, John Garland exited after 6 innings and just 75 pitches. You talk about being economical.
He did his job. These three guys that are together right now, Cabrera, Rosario, and Chassin, all teammates at the minor league level with the Rockies, and Casper, then on in Asheville. That's where the Padres plucked Cabrera away from the Rockies in a Rule 5 pick.
Here's the 2-2 on Everett. And they check it out at third, no swing. So 3 straight close pitches, and it's 3-2.
Willian's going to scare Gary Darling. Watch this. I thought it was a pretty good pitch, but as soon as he catches it, hey, did he go? Watch him. He's going to pop out of there, point right at him. Come on, help me out here.
I keep coming back to this, George, but he's just so much more demonstrative than he was a year ago. And listen, in fairness to him, and he's still a kid. He's 24, but in fairness to him, he was a rookie last year.
Well, he's a rookie last year, and in fairness to all of what you say about being very young, he's young at the big league level. He's been catching a long time, but not at the speed of this game. And there's a different speed at the big league level. I don't care. Anybody can tell me anything they want to, and I'll argue it. There is a huge speed difference at the big league level of what's going on in this game.
Brignac stays with it and throws out Cabrera. 1 gone. That'll bring up Will Venable. And now we'll take a look at our defense, brought to you by Excel Energy. We bring you the energy you need so that you can live the life you want. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Cargo's in the lineup. Dexter's in the lineup. EY's in right field. Nelly's at third base. Herrera and Brignac, the double play combination. And the aforementioned Jordan Pacheco with Willeen doing the catching. And for Willeen, that's his 4th straight ball game behind the plate. He's going to catch the entire series. And the reason is tomorrow, when the Rockies open up in the city by the bay, it'll be Torrealba most likely catching De La Rosa. That's why you see him behind the dish today. And also one of the things Walt Weiss is factoring in with Tulowitzki and Kadire being given the day off, 2 big bats in the middle, keep Rosario's big bat in the middle of that lineup. Here's the 1-1 on Will Venable.
I want to go back to this first pitch, and I want to freeze this as the ball's coming into Willeen's glove. And the reason I want to freeze this, watch how quiet in the past on a hard sinker moving away from Willeen. Now let that come on into the glove. You would see the glove not turn into the strike zone. You would see it push the ball away. he has done such a better job of controlling, catching the ball in the strike zone.
EY and Dexter, and it'll be Dexter. You know, there's quite a bit of wind up there. George,
I
get a
noticed
shot of the flags here in a moment. I mean, it was really gusting.
Well, when you're inside here, and really inside the ballpark, you don't feel it nearly as much. I went downstairs by the front gate, and everything's open there. You could really feel a heavy breeze blowing into this ballpark right now. There's a shot of what Drew's talking about. The flag's pretty stiff right now.
And you can see Dex, he had to all of a sudden pick up the pace the last few strides.
Well, I can tell you right now, any ball hitting the outfield here that doesn't get caught with the speed of this outfield today, that's going to be a rarity. Yeah, you see Dexter kind of jogging, and then all of a sudden that picked those strides up a little bit to get to the ball.
And a base hit for Mark Kotze.
Well, that's one thing he does.
He can hit. Yep, he can hit. So Kotze, in his first ever at bat against Chacin, that kind of surprised me when I read that note, with a base knock, and that'll bring up Yonder Alonso.
I think part of that is, too, the reason that is the first at bat with Chacin is mostly the last 4 or 5 years, Kotze's been a pinch hitter. His duties come after the 7th inning a lot.
See how good a hitter Mark Kotze's been. That was career hit number 1,758. That's a lot of hits. High ball one on Yonder Alonso. You look at the lineup today as it's comprised, a Sunday lineup for Bud Black, George. This is not a real powerful club. They're missing Chase Headley, Carlos Quentin with the knees, being given the day off. The guy you don't want to have beat you is the guy at the plate right now.
There's
Alonso.
no question. Yeah, I mean, this is a guy with a ton of power. You got young kids in the lineup, and the other side of it, their whole lineup only has 5 RBIs on the season. They haven't hit well in the first 5 games.
Two outs, Kotze at first base. Not a threat to go anywhere. And a rollover ground ball. Pacheco's got it. Good feed to Chacin, and a very nice start for Jolis. The 15-pitch first inning. We'll see the Rockies on offense next. Rockies have won 4 consecutive ball games, trying to improve to 5-1 for just the second time in franchise history. They started 5-1 back in '95. In fact, they were 7-1 at one point in 1995 on the way to the postseason. That's Eric Young Jr. Not as if you needed an introduction. And here's the Southwest batting order for Walt Weiss. Dexter will bat second. When EY's in the lineup, he moves down a spot. Cargo's in his familiar 3-hole. Waleed Rosario will bat cleanup today with Tulowitzki sitting out the ball game, or at least initially sitting it out. Jordan Pacheco, Reed Brignac, Chris Nelson will bat 7th, and Johnny Herrera will bat 8th in front of Chacin. Edinson Volquez, who possesses a wonderful changeup, had a rough go in New York, George.
9 guys reached base, 6 of them scored without a home run being hit. So it tells you got beat up a little bit with the walks playing a role, which you know what, active pitchers with 600 or more innings. Volquez third on that list, averaging nearly 5 walks per start.
Volquez originally came up with the Texas Rangers. Moved on to Cincinnati as part of the Josh Hamilton deal. And he does, as he falls behind 2-0, George, time to time, he will have control issues. Last year in 182 and 2/3 innings, he walked 105.
And he's got good enough stuff, though, and he does typically get the walks, and the ball all of a sudden gets on the ground an awful lot. A year ago, 6-5, 295 in the first half of the season. Second half, 5-6 with a near 6 ERA.
2-1. And Junior drives it well to right field, and it's going to get over the head of Kotze. And Mark hustling it back in. It is a leadoff double for Junior.
Yeah, one thing about Volquez in that first start, did not come in on hitters very much. And if it did, it stayed to the middle of the plate. You can see everything's away, and that ball stayed into the middle. EY just using upper body strength to hit this ball. Kotze, normally a pinch hitter, a very good outfielder in his younger days, but asked to play right field today. Tough play. Nice job, EY.
That'll bring up his buddy Dexter Fowler. Talking to Walt Weiss about EY throughout the spring. He just loves the grit, the toughness that he brings. And he also has remarked, and so has Dante on a few occasions, that when you watch his BP, he hits the ball with authority. This is not just a slap and run guy by any stretch of the imagination. He has really improved offensively, and as illustrated, he drove that ball to the wall and right. We've seen him hit it out of the ballpark.
Well, last year, remember, before he got hurt, he got on fire. I think it was 4 home runs in 10 days when he was playing on a regular basis.
One and one. Edinson Volquez for the second straight year, the Padres opening day starter, but he was only around, as George said, for 3 innings at Citi Field.
Now you can see a lot of balls were flared and not hit particularly hard, but still yet 6 earned runs given up in 3 innings.
And this kicks away from Baker, and actually it hit Fowler, so EY is going to have to go back. Well, maybe not. Maybe EY is going to stay at third, and now Dex is going to go back because home plate umpire Paul Emmel said that didn't hit you.
Well, Weiss not popping out of the dugout to ask a question either. Let's see right here whether it did or not. He's talking about that back foot, but it's out in behind home plate anyway. It did hit him in the foot, but you saw where he was. I mean, his foot was all the way up behind home plate.
The old days, George, you check shoe polish.
You can still check it. There's shoe polish there. Yeah, for me, I'll take the advantage. Nobody out and a runner at third base. Stay in there and swing the bat and get an RBI.
You want to know what? It's kind of a win-win situation. No score, nobody out. We're in the bottom of the first inning. 2-1 on Dexter. And that'll get the job done and then some. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. What has gotten into Dexter Fowler? His 4th jack of the year. It's 2-0 Colorado.
Hey, Dex, I hate to tell you, I'm glad the umpire didn't see that ball hit your back foot.
Yeah, foot's fine and the bat's fine. And Dex, by the way, folks, has a 6-game hitting streak out of the gate. That's why Walt didn't go out and argue, George.
Yeah, Dex, it's okay, all right? I want you to swing the bat with nobody out and a runner at third. I really do. Back wall of the bullpen of the Rockies, and he did get after this one. Very good low ball hitter. You could tell by the crack of the bat it was going to an easy trot for Dexter.
Cargo pulls this down the line, and it is foul by a few feet. Dexter starting out the season and got a little Ricky Henderson going. Leadoff guy who hits it over the wall. And George, all 4 of his home runs, they're not wall scrapers.
No, they're not.
Shift on, and this ball's lined, and it's going to go off the wall.
Hey, Kotze's wondering wwhat's going on over here. I play once a month, and the ball's finding me every time.
Kotze's going to need a hard hat out there in right field at the moment.
Tell you what, there's some balls been hit awfully hard. Darren Balsley's going to make that trip to the mound right now to have a visit with Edison.
Double, home run, double.
See where this pitch located? Yeah, right in the middle of the plate. I mean, when he's made mistakes, and good offenses will make you pay. This offense is making them pay.
Well, Darren Balsley completes his conversation. I want to go back to something, George. You want to talk about startling numbers. The Rockies have the highest OPS right now in Major League Baseball. Again, on base percentage plus slugging percentage. You as a pitcher, always the rule number 1, you want to keep that leadoff guy off base, right?
Oh, you had to, yeah. Just creates problems.
The Rockies leading off an inning so far in 2013, 16 for 39. That's a .411 batting average, but if you factor in walks, they have a .477 on base percentage. They're on base half of the inning so far, leading off.
When you mix that with the power and what you're talking about, it changes everything so dramatically, because now you've got a runner on first, runner on second, now the home run, the double. If your Volquez right now, double, home run, double.
Oh, 0-1 on Rosario. Nobody out. Cargo at second. And this is where Dante talks about getting into battle mode. Have a productive at bat. Time for our AAA. How far did it travel? Very far. 422 feet on that flight. Dexter's 4th big fly of the year. 2-0 Colorado. Concentration there at third by Jerko, because he had the barrel of the bat and the baseball headed in his direction at the same time.
Well, that's that heavy sinker that Volquez has the ability to throw, and he does just that. Got it in underneath the label of on the hands of Rosario. Not a difficult pitch to try to do anything with.
Here's Pacheco. Second start for Jordan. He's already hit 500. 2 for 4 against right-handed pitching this year. Jordan drove in 54 last year. 32 doubles. Took a lot of ground balls yesterday, George, early on at third base.
Well, he's got to. He didn't get to play the position in spring training because of the battle with Arenado, Nelson. They're trying to find out other guys if they can play that position. So yesterday, he and Brignac both were at third base. Vinny Castilla emptied the batting practice bucket. What he does, and it gives you a true feed for you coaches at home if you want to teach it a little bit, have a guy soft toss the ball to you and you hit it off of your fungo live to them. Instead of throwing the ball in the air, you get a different spin and reaction. Much game-like type action.
Another chance for Jerko. 2 outs. Padres defense brought to you by Excel Energy. We bring you the energy you need so that you can live the life you want. Visit responsiblebynature.com today to learn more. Padres in the outfield will have Denorfia, Venable, and Mark Kotze. Jerko Cabrera left side, Alexian Marista and Alonso on the right side, and the veteran John Baker is doing the catching. Reed Brignac has pop. That's why he's hitting in the 6th spot in the lineup today. Getting a start at second base for Josh Rutledge. Cargo still at second now with 2 outs. Changeup. Skates through Baker. Cargo to third. That'll be the second wild pitch of the inning.
Tough ball to try to block too. I mean, this ball's well out in front of the feet of Brignac, and it just ricochets over. If you looked at Baker's head, he turned his head away from the baseball, so difficult to see where it's going to land and where you're going to have to pick it up at.
One and two.
Man, 8 wild pitches already. Leads the National League for the Padres. It's not even close. Chicago, Miami with 3, Milwaukee 3, Atlanta 2.
Great story about Brignac. When we flew from Milwaukee, George, Thursday, well, it was Wednesday night, late Wednesday night, to Denver. When he put his foot on the tarmac at 1:45 in the morning, it was the first time he had ever set foot in the state of Colorado. Yesterday I asked him, what do you think so far? He goes, man, it is beautiful here.
Wait till he takes it right up I-70.
Yeah.
you get in those mountains, you won't want to come out.
He's got a young family. I'm sure on an off day they'll have an opportunity to do that.
And south on I-25, the Air Force Academy, all that area down in Canyon City. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, hard not to find beauty in our state. 2-2 with 2 outs. Rockies up 2-0. And this ball toward the gap in left center field's got to get down, and it will. Cargo trots home with the Rockies' 3rd run, and they have their 3rd double of the inning. Reed Brignac coming through.
Where do you relax? When you get that so-called Sunday lineup out here, it's done a lot of damage. Fowler and Gonzalez, the 2 regulars with Rosario. Fowler's 2-run home run, a double by Gonzalez, and now Brignac with this opposite field on a changeup down and away. Shows you how strong he is. Look at front foot, never strided towards the baseball. That was all an upper body swing trying to stay back on it. And he does into left center field, brings Cargo to the house.
Chris Nelson. Rockies with their hitting shoes on. They have scored at least 5 runs in every ball game this year. And the next pitch for Volquez will be his 25th of the opening inning.
Well, the best part about all of this, Drew, for the Rockies and Rockies fans, Nelson is hitting 7th. So now Volquez goes to the dugout if he gets Nelson out. If he's going to come back out the next inning and go, wait a minute, didn't I just see all you guys in the first? I mean, you're getting to that lineup in a hurry. Did the temperature drop? Is it just me?
No, it has dropped a little bit. It is cooling off. 2-0 on Nelly. And that's high, 3-0. Should identify our home plate umpire. He's Guy that makes his home in the Denver area, Paul Emmel. Bruce Dreckman at first, Clint Fagan at second, Gary Darling is at third. Reno on Chris Nelson. Eric Young got it started, a double to deep right field. Dexter hit a 2-run home run. Cargo hit a double off the base of the right field wall. A couple of ground outs, and then Brignac a double to left center field. 3-0 Colorado.
33 pitches for Tyson Ross to get through the first yesterday, and then right now you're sitting looking at Volquez at 28.
Tyson Ross, top perch on the dugout. Look at Volquez's uniform, give you an idea how much the wind is picked up. He came set there, and he's not the biggest guy in the world, George. I thought he might get blown over.
Yeah, when that starts flapping, like, it's just, you know, it's unnerving to you as a pitcher.
And that bounces up there. Balsley, keep in mind, has already come out once. There can't be another meeting at the mound.
Well, this is where the young catcher's got to go out and have a talk with him, kind of calm things down a little bit. You got 2 outs. Get the ball knocked down, get the final out in this inning. And Marista appears to be yelling something from second at him.
I'm talking about, you say unnerving, George. How about Bud Black? This is his ace. And you know, he's a guy reaching from having to go and pick up the bullpen phone and maybe get a guy loose.
But I think he's managed here enough. He's not going to do that unless it just gets disastrous, which it's close to getting. That, hey, you're just going to bite the bullet and go out there and give us 4 or 5 innings.
That's a strike on Johnny. Just his 3rd at bat of the young season. He's 0 for 2. Had an AB yesterday. See that graph? That's a great one. Rockies last year in a miserable season, actually over 500 when Johnny started. Two and one. In the Rockies clubhouse, everybody's name is above their individual locker, like any clubhouse or any locker in professional sports. Johnny's nickname, the Bean,
yeah, that is it.
Is also on top of his life. It says John Bean Herrera. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, they'd be kind of fun.
This is a flare to shallow left, and it is caught by Denorfia. And that saved a run. Nice play by Chris Denorfia out in left field. The Padres can finally return to their dugout. Plenty of offense in the first frame for the Rockies against Volquez. 3 runs on 4 hits, including the 2-run shot by Dexter.
The Rockies with a hot start, though, 3-0 over the Padres. Well, Edison Volquez, who's the starting pitcher for San Diego today, he has a tendency to pitch out of the zone. He showed that in the first inning, 14 balls on 32 pitches, and the Rockies sure took advantage with 4 hits, including 3 doubles, 1 from Carlos Gonzalez, who knows a lot about Volquez since he's seen him recently.
Faced him a couple times in my career. I didn't face him in WBC because he was only able to pitch 1 inning, and then the rain cost him. But you know, the biggest thing for him is just we need to make sure he throws strikes. You know, he got really good pitches, but you know, if he keeps he likes to throw a lot of balls. So we need to be patient and wait for our pitches, and you know, that's a good way for us to get him out of the game quick. If you don't throw strikes, just be patient.
Well, Cargo must have spread the word because the Rockies looked very patient in the first inning on offense. In fact, in talking to Walt Weiss today, he said he likes that balance that his offense has. You see a lot of power sometimes, and other nights like last night, you get your offense any way you can. And he said in order to do well in this division, we have to have attributes of both. So far, so good for the Rockies.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, Jen, once you think about it, what Walt's talking about, you're playing a lot of ballparks starting on Monday night where there's not a lot of home runs hit. You've got to be able to put some line drive base hits together. Record the first out. They do that with Jerko on a ground ball to third.
It's amazing how quick scouting reports develop on players, George. Jed Jerko, and you pitched for a long time in the big league, so, and I know you always think like a pitcher. Once a pitcher, always a pitcher. If you're facing Jerko today, what would you do?
Speed curveballs.
Thank you. And you know what? In the first 3 pitches, you saw 2 changeups, a show-me fastball, and then a couple of changeups from Chacin against Jerko because he hasn't demonstrated he can stay back.
When everybody has said, well, he hit 360 in AAA. He hit 340 in the fall league. Well, you know what? Those guys are in AAA and AA for a reason. And then you got guys in the big leagues that can paint that breaking ball. They can throw it on a 2-0, 2-1 count. It really frustrates you because Jerko's a good hitter. That's why I've watched him through the minor leagues. This guy can hit. And if, you know, see how he adjusts to this to see if he can handle it. But early on right now, he's not handling the breaking ball at all.
Right. And I'm sure he'll figure it out. And when he does, then the league readjusts to what he's doing. 2 balls and a strike on Chris Denorfia. 3-1.
A year ago, in 128 games, 311 average, 30 home runs, 100 RBIs. That was all between AA and AAA, San Antonio and Reno. Excuse me, Tucson. That's where they're located.
Good actions by Johnny Herrera. Good actions at first by Jordan Pacheco. And George, the experience now of Jordan Pacheco getting a lot of time in the second half at first, I think, enabled him to make that play pretty smoothly.
Well, you got to read the throw and where it's coming to. Too many guys will try to stay on the bag and stretch to the baseball. Jordan went out and caught the baseball, and then I'll make and apply the tag to him. And that's exactly what he did. He came up the line and he worked his way back to him.
Amarista takes a strike. It's always a scary play for a first baseman. Yonder Alonso had one of those at Citi Field the other day in the series against the Mets. Coming off the bag in a sweep tag. It's on the ground at third. And his arm kind of got caught up, bent backwards, and he hurt his elbow. Fortunately, not seriously. Obviously, Jordan on that swipe tag was just fine. Good inning again for Chacin. 3 on the ground. Rockies up 3-0. The region's Touchstone Energy Cooperative, your local consumer-owned electric cooperative delivering reliable power, energy-saving tools, and more. And our save of the week, well, you can pick from 3 already for Rafael Betancourt. Saved the home opener on Friday night. That was saved yesterday as well as the Rockies prevailed 6-3. Jolie Chassin, who loves to hit, is at the plate against Edinson Volquez, and the first pitch of the inning is high ball 1. Learn more by visiting togetherwesave.com. And that's inside. 2-0. Volquez fighting his mechanics, George. He really flew open there, didn't he?
Yeah, he just got that front side, and that's what happened to. He'll start to rotate out so fast that his arm slot drops. When the arm slot drops, everything gets flat. There's no sink, no cut. No better there. He got on top of that.
And Chassin taking the whole way there on a 2-0 pitch. And that's a base hit up the middle. Told you he likes to hit, George. That's the second knock of the year. So Chassin reaches, and here comes Eric Young Jr. Rockies fans, this season we want to answer your questions on air during Toyota Talk. Hopefully you've enjoyed that through the first week of the season. Text Toyota, followed by your question to 720-720. And watchers, your questions are answered during the 5th inning. First-time texters, automatic winners. Free day pass to the Denver Zoo, courtesy of your neighborhood Toyota stores. And when you go to the Denver Zoo, you got to visit the amazing animals at the Toyota Elephant Passage. Junior getting the attention of Jerko at third. That shot. This is on the line to center field, and it's not going to get down. It's handled by Will Venable, who was playing pretty shallow. 1 out.
Hey, ask about the Rockies buy one, get one free suite. That's right. It's a pretty good deal. There's 16 BOG, buy. You know what that means? BOGO, BOGO. Huh? You don't know what that means? Buy one, get one free. Dates in April and May. So call today to the Rockies and reserve one of your suites. Buy one of those. Come back again in June. 303 Rockies.
Wouldn't it be Bogoff?
I didn't write it. I'll give you the number, 303 Rockies. How's that?
Thank you.
Okay.
1-0 on Dexter Fowler. First time up, a long home run to right center field. His 4th, his team leading 4th of the year. It's 2-0. Couple of changeups back to back. Typically 2-0, you sit on a heater in a certain location. I don't know if the way he's swinging it, Volquez will give in. He may go change up again. He did. And Volquez.
Pitcher running.
Yep. Chassin just trying to cover up. He didn't want to hit the deck. So with 2 outs, Fowler trades places with Chassin.
Once he sees he gets to the baseball, he's just trying to get out of the way on this. You see him start to come across there. You notice, though, Cabrera did look at second base umpire, Clint Fagan, and said, was he a little out of line there where I couldn't make a throw? See, I think once you get to this level, and Jerko's starting to see a little of this, you get behind 2-1, 2-0, there's a pretty good chance you may see a breaking ball because guys here have command of that.
Cargo doubled his first time. Dexter takes off first pitch. Baker's throw is not going to get it. In fact, it sails into center field. Dexter getting hurt at all on that when Cabrera came down on him. Looks like he's okay. First stolen base of the year for Fowler, and I like that he went first pitch, George.
Well, I like to see that too, and on a good pitch to go on. You know, you've got a power hitter up, so you can kind of think off-speed pitch. So is it going to be in the dirt? Is it going to be on the back foot? Where do they throw Cargo typically? And then try to take advantage of that.
This may be one of those situations where Volquez looks in the on-deck circle and says, I may prefer to go right on right against the young catcher, even though he's dangerous. I think he's going to feed him a fastball here. 2-0. Well, he went off speed and he induces the ground ball. Rockies leave Fowler at second. They have a 3-0 lead as we go to the third.
He's got him. Strike three in 6 hours and 16 minutes. The Rockies have defeated the Padres.
Kip Wells finishing that ball game. He was Rocky briefly. Torrealba was behind the plate. Rockies leading 3-0. More memories over the first 2 decades of Rockies baseball with George Frazier and Jenny Cavnar. I'm Drew Goodman. Windy afternoon at Coors Field. The Rockies enjoying a fast start. Jolie Chacin has allowed 1 hit through 2 innings, and he's already got 5 ground ball outs.
The last 2 days kind of tricked you. Mid-70s, comfortable, walking around, short sleeves, and then you get here today, and it's a little nip. You get a little nip in there.
Yeah, it's still, you know what, it's still pretty nice. I remember a year ago we got snowed out on the first, I believe the first Sunday of the year at home was a snow out after 70-plus degrees on opening day. John Baker's at the plate. He takes strike 1.
The thing I noticed too, and you hear me talk about this quite a bit, pace and rhythm by a pitcher. Chacin's throwing a pitch, receives it back and starts to look up. This is going to fall in front of Eric Young. Second hit of the ball game for the Padres.
That'll bring up Volquez. Time now for this afternoon's fun fact, brought to you by All Copy Products. Walt Weiss's last game with the Rockies was September the 28th, 1997. Todd Helton started at first base that day, and the hitting coach, Dante Bichette, with 2 home runs on September the 28th of 97. Volquez fouls it off. It's 0-1. And they're reunited, and it feels so good. Peaches and Herb. You remember that well, don't you, George?
Honestly, I don't.
Mike Fox, our producer, pointed out that's not country or western, so Frazier's out of the loop. Rosario get the out at first base. Two 4 on the sack. And Cabrera will come up. You know what I remember most about that 22-inning ball game, George, at Petco Park?
Yeah.
Actually, two things.
What do you remember?
I remember the next day, I mean, we flew after the game, and we arrived in Houston, and we're in rush hour morning traffic.
Yeah, sunrise.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember that. And I remember that you went after about the 18th inning on a scavenger hunt looking for food because we were starving at that point.
Yeah.
And you found pizza and you didn't ship.
I did share.
That sounds better than.
But you said you didn't put it. You didn't want it.
You found like, I don't know where you found it.
Found
like
a
in a
pizza.
garbage bin. It was like a slice and a half.
It wasn't in a garbage bin.
Pacheco will take it himself. I mean, literally, you came back with a slice and a half. Where'd the half slice? Where was that?
The guy ate it. That's the part
That's
I gave
what I
to you.
mean. That's talking
I gave to you.
Will Venable with 2 outs.
Well, a little conversation going on here. You got a left-handed hitter up, and the reason Pacheco's up there, and then Rosario, same thing. Get off the mound in case he pulls this up the first base line and takes it with him on the ground as a bunt because he's got very, very good speed.
Good athlete. He was a very good basketball player at Princeton. We chatted about that a little bit yesterday. Waiting on the slider, and he fouled it off. Had a towering fly ball to center field his first time up. Must be in the air, George. We keep talking about weddings. Will's getting married next off season.
They're all kind of that mid-20 thing.
And quickly a 2-strike count. If you have auto glass issues, call Safe Light Auto Glass at 303-287-5000. Or check them out online at safelight.com. Rockies up 3-0, top of inning number 3. They've out-hit the Padres thus far, 5-2. Big, strong kid, Jolie Chassin. He's just 25. Third youngest opening day starter in Rockies history. 6'3", about 235 pounds. Well, that's a good looking pitch. Hard to take.
Well, I think hard to take. I think it is a ball. I think it is off the plate, but it is so close. How do you not take a whiff at it in some capacity? I mean, it's elevated, it's out there, it's on the corner.
Framed nicely too, George, by Rosario.
Just turn that glove in and try to keep the ball to the center of his body when he moves.
Ground ball to first. Checo to his pitcher covering Chassin. Well done by Jolie. Leadoff single did not hurt him. 3-0 Colorado. Bottom of the third inning, Rosario, Pacheco, Brignac, 4, 5, and 6 this Sunday afternoon. What's next is brought to you by CenturyLink. The Rockies will head to the city by the bay. There'll be a beautiful AT&T Park for 3, and then on to Petco Park and see the Padres again. San Francisco, oh, what a shock. They're 3-2, and they're not allowing many runs. They're not scoring many runs, but they are going to be in every ball game with that pitching staff, especially playing at AT&T. Here's Rosario. He grounded to third his first time up. Moline 0 for 3 yesterday and a walk. Hit a home run on Friday night, Friday afternoon. Volquez has labored through 2 innings. This is his 47th pitch. High fly ball to right field. Now Kotsay going back to make the catch. Who wants tacos? Remember, when the Rockies, George's got his hand up, when the Rockies score 7 or more during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. Prior to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the University of New Mexico, Jordan Pacheco. Mom and Dad have worn out I-25 heading north from Albuquerque.
But how neat is that? You come up here, watch your son play. I mean, he's in the big leagues. Plus, they get the games every single day on television down there in the network. And, you know, to be able to watch your son play, maybe not necessarily be able to drive up, but I can just turn on the TV and watch it.
2 outs. Jerko making the play. That'll bring up Brignac. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level seats today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Big at bat for Brignac in that first inning. In that Dexter Fowler had hit a 2-run home run, and Dexter's hitting second in the lineup, and then Cargo doubled. The next 2 hitters grounded out. Brignac's up there, and you know, psychologically, not that it was going to be a really good inning for Volquez, but psychologically you say, okay, but you know what, it was a rough inning, but I only gave up 2. Brignac comes through with that 2-out double behind in the count, George, to get that 3rd run across.
And that's what the Rockies have done frequently this year. They get in that spot where they can go ahead and add the next one. This will be in a 1-2-3 inning for Volquez. The Rockies hold a 3-0 lead here going to the top of the 4th.
Padres 3-0. Well, today, April 7th, happens to mark the 20th anniversary of not just the Padres in existence, but also the great movie The Sandlot. For many of us that grew up in that era, we love and know all of the quotes, and so do many of the Rockies.
favorite line from The Sandlot would probably have to be, "You're killing me, Smalls."
He's like, "Smalls, you want s'more?" He goes, "No, I hadn't had any." Do you want a s'more? I'm like, how can I have s'more if I hadn't had any yet? And then the whole thing, "If you're killing me, Smalls," then he shows him, first you take the melon, puts it on the coat hanger, burns it, then you take the graham, wipes it off, chocolate, crushes it. Pretty good stuff.
I'm pretty sure that Matt Belial had the most fun revisiting all the quotes from that movie. Now, Drew and George, I know that you guys may or may not have seen this. I'm guessing you haven't seen this movie, but I hope that you watch it on the plane today because it is a classic.
I wasn't born yet when that film came out, Jenny.
Yeah, 20 years ago. You're only 19. That's crazy.
Yeah, child prodigy. Jenny, thank you. That was a pretty good reenactment by Mr. Belial. That's a strike on Kotsay, 3-1.
Kotsay with one of 2 hits that Chassin's given up, 2 weak singles given up by Jolis. Very good command of the sinker. Getting a lot of ground ball outs, early outs.
Diving stop by Brignac. He was shaded up the middle, and now Kotsay's 2 for 2.
Trying to get a break on the baseball, shading a little bit up the middle. Off-speed pitch, makes a 2-step dive for it and hits off the glove and rolls out away from him where a play couldn't be made.
Yonder Alonso, double play candidate. Chassin has really done a great job on the bottom third of that strike zone. I was talking to Jimmy Wright this morning, the Rockies pitching coach, and he said they made a little alteration between his final spring training start and his first start of the season in Milwaukee. He went to the videotape. He felt like his delivery had slowed down so much that he was very methodical and not quite as athletic. Looked at where he was breaking his hands. And he was terrific in Milwaukee. He's been very good so far this afternoon. 2-0, 2-1.
The confidence that it gives you with that hard sinker, and you have command of it, is getting that ground ball out and getting out of the inning. I'll tell you what, the Yankees put it on Verlander today, 7-0.
There's your double play ball. That was hit so hard, Johnny had time to re-grip getting it out of the glove at second. 4-6-3 on the turn, 2 gone, and it'll bring up Jed Jerko.
Let's take a shot at this one more time to flip over to Johnny. It's 2 or 3 grips, but he does have the strong arm, so that allowed them to go ahead and turn the double play over to Pacheco.
And Jerko fouls this one off out of play.
He got to look at a fastball. He got one.
Got one.
I know you may not get another one.
Another though.
Yeah. 400 plus innings. Now Chassin has the best earned run average, 3.64 among Rocky starters. Jimenez 3.66, De La Rosa 4.48, Cook and then Hamilton.
I did get another fastball.
But he was looking to breaking ball and Tardy Hardy. Sometimes you try to throw the perfect slider and you try to really add a lot to it. You end up having to back up, hang up, not make a very good pitch. That's what happened on that one.
Slider, pounded foul. Jerko with starts in this series at second and third. 2 outs, 2-2 count. Kid from Morgantown, West Virginia, 3-2.
Maybe the first 3-ball count. No, we had a 3-0 count. Is that right, Doug? First 3-ball count?
Well,
yeah.
Will Venable on a 3-1 pitch.
Right.
Grounded out.
I'm saying here we are in the 4th inning with 2 outs, and you've had 2 3-ball counts, showing pretty good command of things. 54 pitches, 32 strikes.
And despite Rosario trying to get there, twisted foul. After watching the Rockies this afternoon, stick around. After the postgame show for Rockies Weekly, we'll spend some time touring the new changes at Coors Field, celebrate the 20th anniversary of the classic movie The Sandlot. Jenny's already kind of begun those festivities. And recap the top plays from opening week, of which there have been many. Don't miss Rockies Weekly today, right after the postgame show. 3-2 again, Chassin to Jed Jerko.
Most time you see a hitter step out to call time, you don't see a pitcher in the middle of his windup go, time out. But in this dry era today, with the wind blowing, a lot of times obviously didn't have a comfortable grip on the baseball.
And a punch single to center field by Jerko. And that's probably been the description of the 4 hits, 4 singles allowed by Chassin. So with 2 gone, that'll bring up Chris DeNorfia.
78-mile-an-hour slider, and he stayed out there and got a little bit flat at the end.
If you're looking to save money by using electricity wisely, find out how the little changes add up at TogetherWeSave.com, your local Touchstone Energy cooperative, delivering reliable power, energy-saving tools, and much more. Always been a fan of this guy, George. I think he's just a good baseball player.
He's a very good baseball player, and again, a guy that can play all 3 outfield positions. He can come off the bench and swing the bat for you. Just a valuable person. Kind of a little bit like Pacheco. You know, can really swing the bat. Not big-time home run power, but he can play all 3 outfield and third. You know, Pacheco, the corners, and behind the plate.
1-1. He's a great example of, if you can play, they will find you. He was a Division III star at Wheaton College. Norton, Massachusetts. And he majored in international relations and Hispanic studies at Wheaton College. I had to ask him, I wonder if he was fluent departing college in Spanish.
Pretty much sure he was.
I bet he probably was. Just kind of helps you out a little bit when you're in the game of baseball. Think of how much you can help young Latin players bridge the difficulty of coming.
Well,
from,
you know, and I'm going to tell you a true story. Modesto, 3 years
Dominican or wherever, Venezuela.
Right, sure. 3 years ago in Modesto, the ball's going to pop away to let the runner advance. And this is not to demean anybody, but I mean, there was guys that would go to certain restaurants that had pictures, so they knew how to order food. You know, or they would go with some American players that could speak a little bit of Spanish to help them order their food. It was a difficult time for them.
I mean, you think of a kid, you know, thousands of miles from home, and there's a language barrier, there's cultural barriers. So that's why, and I know you've spoken about this, George, that how much you learned and how much appreciation you had for what the young Latin kids go through when you went and played winter ball.
I loved it down there. I love the Dominican Republic, but you also get tired of eating ham and eggs every morning, you know, because you don't know the language to eat the other food.
But you can relate that.
But no, there's no question about it. I mean, when you go there,
through.
Absolutely you can. I mean, it's a very eye-popping experience for an American player. Now, of course, I'm going back to '78, so obviously things have really advanced since then.
Here's the 2-2, and that's pulled down the line, and that's going to get a run home. Jerko's going to score, and DeNorfia is going to have an RBI double. 3-1 the score.
Denorfia came into this ball game hitting .375 and worked the counts up on Chassin. Trying to get an opportunity to take a pitch and drive it, and he did just that. Inner half, starting to sink back into it. What I noticed about him, boy, he really adjusts to location well. Inside, he's going down the line. Outside, he'll take it to the opposite field.
You got to bear down here on Alexi Amarista. And a sharply hit ball to Johnny Herrera. So in the inning, there were 3 hits, and Denorfia's double brings home Jed Jerko with the first Padre run. Rockies up 3-1. Nelson will lead off.
Rays 3-1. Well, we're having a lot of fun celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Rockies this season, but it's also the 20th anniversary of the movie The Sandlot, as we mentioned. Let's hear from some more Rockies on their favorite movie lines.
I think when the two teams got together and they kind of was talking trash to each other and calls them out, says, "You play ball like a girl."
My favorite scene is when the kids get one of the dads bag of chew and they all go to the carnival rides and put some chew in and all, start throwing up all over the place. It's pretty funny to me.
My favorite movie line is when they're in the when they're having a sleepover in the treehouse or whatever, and kid does the flashlight and forever, forever. Love that part.
Well, the Rockies had a lot of fun remembering their favorite movie lines from The Sandlot. I also had to bring up one of the most famous characters from that movie. Of course, that was Wendy Peppercorn, the lifeguard beauty that squints tricks into kissing him at one part. And whenever I mentioned Wendy Peppercorn's name to some of the Rockies players, George and Drew, they blushed a little bit. Very curious as to why that is. I think that was their childhood crush. I think my brother, that was his childhood crush as well. She was quite a cutie.
Well, I have to see this movie you're talking about, Jen.
See, I'm trying to just entice you to go rent it. I bet I know where you could get that from. Our producer, Mike Fox, he may or may not already have that for you.
Mike carries like 6,000 films with him on the road. It's part of his antisocial behavior. 2-1 on Chris Nelson, and that misses. 3-1. Rockies' first 2 games of this series, 11 runs, just 15 hits. But they've pitched very well. John Garland yesterday. This is slowly hit up the middle. Cabrera gets there, and a good transfer to get Nelly at first. Well, he's starting to settle in, George. He's retired the last 5.
Well, he is. And again, I mean, he's got to go out and be able to throw up some zeros just for confidence factor or anything. I mean, he's never been a really quick starter, but he kind of looked like he was about to cave in the first inning and bounce back after he got the last out. Since then, it's been pretty good.
Johnny takes ball one. AT&T trivia question on a Sunday afternoon. Who holds the all-time Rockies rookie average? And they had to have had at least 300 at-bats. 2-0. Hey, it's something the Rockies are really trying to turn around this year, George. This is an obvious one. Their Sunday afternoon record. The last 2 years, they've won 11 times on Sunday. That's hard to fathom.
It's very hard to fathom. You're right. I mean, to me, that's very difficult to even think about something like that.
And I'm sure some people looked in today again and said, why are the Rockies not rolling out Tulowitzki and Kadire and Helton and playing their A lineup? Well, two things on that. There are a lot of teams in baseball when it's a day game after a night game, Sunday also. That's where some guys, role players, bench players, that's typically where they're going to play. And you say, well, why empty the entire bench? It's first time Tulowitzki has sat down this year. Helton's not going to play. This ball in the air, left center field's going to drop. Base hit for Johnny. In front of Chacin. And Walt Weiss has also stated on a number of occasions he has profound trust, respect for the guys he's bringing off the bench. And he says these guys, are bona fide big league players, and they're going to help us win games. And in the first game that he played, if you will, not his A lineup, Eric Young, Reed Brignac, both of those guys drove in runs. And in this ball game, Reed Brignac, an RBI double already. Eric Young Jr. started out the bottom of the first inning with a double. But however it happens, it has to happen. You have to be better on Sundays. I mean, 11 wins in 2 years.
There's no way. You got to win more, Nick.
At one point, the Rockies lost a Major League record 17 straight Sundays. Runner going, swung on and missed, throw to second, and Herrera's cut down. Rockies did that yesterday. A bunt and run. They got the bunt down yesterday. Chacin didn't get it down here.
Sure did.
Well, actually, it was a slug bunt.
Yeah, he came in full swing there and does not get it down, so now you put yourself in that position. Rockies last 2 years, you mentioned the 11 wins, 41 losses.
It's a foul ball. Play wasn't executed, but I like the call of the slug bunt there with the runner moving because Chacin handles the bat pretty well. A sharp single to center his first time up. And with a 2-run lead, it's still a low-risk play because if Chacin makes the final out here, you still have the top of the order next inning, and he will make the final out. That is the first strikeout of the ball game for either side. 3-1 Rockies. The Ford Focus, it's 40 miles per gallon of pure fun. Start more than a car. Ford Focus, go further. By Comcast, advertise your business locally on the network's People Watch. Go to ComcastSpotlight.com for details. By Wells Fargo, get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. By Honey Smoked Fish Company, secrets in the fire. It's a ready-to-eat superfood. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. John Baker in the 5th inning had a single his first time up. 8-9-1 in a 3-1 ball game. The Rockies leading. One out. This is our Toyota Talk inning, so we'll have some questions for you momentarily. In fact, here's number one. How does this year's lineup compare to the original Bombers? Well, it's very early. I will say this, that on paper, the Rockies have a formidable lineup. You have Dexter Fowler, who hit 13 home runs last year, has already hit 4. Cargo, you know what he could do. You know what Tulowitzki could do. Rosario was a rookie last year and he hit 28 home runs. Kadire has a long history of producing 20-plus home runs and 80-plus RBIs. So there's a lot of thump in the lineup on paper.
Well, there really is. And again, it's let it play out over 162. I mean, the Bombers did a lot of damage for a long time.
Here's Michael. How's the crew chief among umpires determined? Karen in Colorado Springs.
Determined by how many years you've been here. It plays a big role in how they pick you. And it's typically guys that have been 20 years and beyond. Very rarely do you see a very young guy back there. I think Gary Darling's the crew chief with this group, the veteran umpire.
Bouncing ball to third. High throw, but Pacheco with enough ups to handle that. 2 outs. Well, there have been, some guys who retired in Major League Baseball among umpires in the offseason. And some younger umpires have already gotten an opportunity now to be crew chiefs. I know Chris Caccioni's now a crew chief fairly early on in his big league career. But as George said, it's typically guys that have seniority. Guys like Wally Bell, who we just saw in Milwaukee. I know it's only 6 games, but what do you think about the rotation? So far, so good.
I'll say this. I like it a lot better than I did in February from what I've seen, because I've seen healthy people that have had success in the past come out and perform well. And, it's always health. Sure enjoy watching Jeff Garland the last 2 days and what they've done, and so far with Chacin.
That's a strike 1 and 2 on Cabrera. 0 for 7 lifetime against Chacin. $13, the lucky number today, George. Cleveland blanked Tampa 13-0 at the Trop, and Boston blanked Toronto in that big lineup of theirs 13-0 at Rogers Center.
It just sounds like a bad day to be a pitcher in those parks. Not a good day.
Who do you think is the most dangerous weapon on the Rockies roster this year? Left field, Cargo. Tulowitzki, another.
There's a few of them that can play on my team.
Yeah.
I like a bunch of them.
Maybe the combination of all of the above. Good inning again for Chacin. Middle of 5, 3-1. Time for the Cooney Lexus look back. The Rockies in the first inning got right after Edinson Volquez after a leadoff double by Eric Young Jr. The big slugger went deep. Dexter Fowler with his fourth, and later on after a Cargo double, Reed Brignac would have a double to make it 3-0, and then a 2-out double by Chris DeNorfia. Played in Jed Jerko for the only Padre run. Eric Young Jr. takes a slider or a changeup for a strike from Edinson Volquez. The double to right and a line shot to center field that Will Venable came in and made the catch on. 1 for 2 for EY. That's outside. Great line from Eric Young Sr. Friday night. Said it's amazing. I go to a ball game and it's like Little League all over again. I get to go watch my son play.
Well, it's a big moment. I mean, you know, it's fun. Even though he coached the last couple of years with the Arizona Diamondbacks, now doing the pre- and post-game show for the Houston Astros. He lives in Houston. He has the ability to watch a lot on satellite, but to see it in person is pretty fun.
We used to show a lot of shots of him, George, when the Rockies were playing Arizona. When EY was in the lineup, it looked like it was just gut-wrenching.
Well, it is. It tears you up. I mean, you've got 3 young boys playing, and it's Little League, but it still tears you up because you want them to have success. You don't want them to experience a whole lot of failure.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes I thought Bruce Ruffin yesterday made a great comment. He said, you know, his son's been in the big leagues with 2 different organizations, Detroit and Seattle. He said, hey, you know, he can lean on me all he wants, but he's got to go do it himself and figure it out. That's kind of what it comes down to.
Volquez has settled in okay. Rockies to get something jump started again as this game has been locked in at 3-1 now. And that ball sharply hit, but right at the first baseman, Alonso, and EY's retired. Let's take a look at our Coors Light freeze cam. Look at the swing of 6'6" Dexter Fowler. He dropped the head of the bat on that inside fastball and drove it 422 feet to right center field.
Five innings, Chastain, 13 ground ball outs.
Wow.
Doctor ordered that, didn't he? Could you want it any better? Creates a lot of quick innings.
Garland had a slew of them yesterday. Well, we thank you for texting in your questions to Toyota Talk. For more answers to your questions, visit the Root Sports Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRM. Tracy Ringlesby will answer a bonus Toyota Talk question before the end of the game.
There's the whole crew right here. Oh, we had to cut away from. Go back to it one more time. Just one. There they are, right there. Everyone. And right here, guys. Hold on, hold it, hold it. That is the big cheese right there. That's Allison.
That was a terrible arrow, George.
Well, I can't help it if it doesn't draw. I'm trying.
Just wiped out Klatt's head with that arrow also. Here's the 1-2. 2-2.
All right, show them again, all right? One more time. All right. Done, done, done. The one without the X is the big cheese. How's that?
Got it.
Okay.
It's Allison Vigil. Your X's were better than your arrows.
There you go. Thank you.
2-2. Say fair ball.
But it's not the first base umpire's call. It's the home plate umpire's call if it's before the bag at first. Then once it passes the bag, it becomes the first base umpire's call. I thought it hit his foot. It sounded funny, but it was right off the end of the bat. I guess that's why.
Yeah, it didn't hit his foot.
So Dexter realizing to take off running first, and
I think he got it in fair territory.
Oh, I do too. There's no question.
2 outs, Cargo at the plate. Double on a run scored in the first, and he grounded to Yonder Alonso his last time. 4 unassisted plays at first base by Alonso in this game on ground balls. He's been busy. Shift is on.
The ball's in fair territory. Caught it right there, yeah. It's just that's a big man going after the ball. Momentum took him into foul territory.
Cargo 6 for 14 lifetime against Volquez. Give Volquez credit. He was on the ropes in that first inning. He's threw some haymakers at him, and now he's been very efficient. 2-1. He gets ahead, he can utilize that changeup. It's one of the best changeups in baseball.
Oh, and there's no question about it.
He doesn't throw quite as hard as he used to. He used to have a mid-90s fastball. 2-1. And Cargo with a base hit left center field. See if he can stretch this to a double. He takes a wide turn. Now he'll move up as Denorfia had trouble picking up the baseball. And Cargo with 2 outs at second base, his second hit of the ball game.
Sliced right out of the reach of Cabrera into left field. As he ran over to grab the baseball, I mean, the Cargo's moving.
He stopped, though, and that's why it's going to be an E7. He was going to be content with a single because Denorfia had kept it out of the alley. So it's a single E7, allowing him to move up 90 feet. And here's Willeen Rosario. Ground ball to third. And a towering fly ball to right field fairly deep. Two-out ribby here would be huge. He's not picking up the spin on the ball. That's the second time he's kind of jumped out of the way. On a breaking ball. This one not in the strike zone. In his first at bat it was. Battery has noticed he's not picking up the spin either. Gets another one. 1-1.
If thrown in the right spot, hey, you know what? Not only is Willeen going to have a difficult hitting it, so is the rest of the league. It's when you make the mistake with that hanger, you make them pay for it. Change up.
1-2 the count on Willeen. AT&T trivia question: who holds the Rockies record for average by a rookie? Todd Helton hit .315 in '98, and then Jordan Pacheco hit .309 last year. Jordan became the first rookie to finish in the top 5 in hitting in the National League since 1974. That's how special the year was for Pacheco last year. 1-2. And this ball driven left, but it's at Denorfia. So the Rockies lead Gonzalez at second. We'll go to the 6th inning, still 3-1. McDonald's new premium McWrap. I'm loving it. Rockies got 3 runs in the first inning, and they're making it stand up behind a very fine performance again from Jolise Chassin. She is a very interested observer. Rockies up 3-1, 6th inning. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, and Jenny Cavnar. And a comparison between Volquez and Chassin.
A little under 15 pitches per inning, or excuse me, a little over 15 pitches per inning for Chassin. And he's just been able to keep it to a minimum there. Those 5 hits, all singles, or one double a minute ago. But other than that, he's been able to keep his ball and softly hit throughout the game. Part of that lineup, 2-3 left-handed hitters in a row. Venable, Katse, and Alonso.
One and one on Venable. Katse, who's on deck, has a couple of singles. Jerko had a single and Denorfia a double. This ball is out of play. Tad high. Pretty close in the forward strike zone. Good pitch and a strikeout for Chassin. That's his first of the ball game as he gets Venable. 1 out. That'll bring up Katse. Today's Cold Hard Fact is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. The 1993 Colorado Rockies drew a Major League record 4,483,350 fans. That smashed the previous record set by Toronto in '92, a World Series championship year for the Blue Jays, by almost 500,000. Toronto won back-to-back world titles. Katse in the air to left. Cargo gliding over, makes the catch. And Yonder Alonso will be next.
Well, tax day, what do you think? The Rockies are offering tax day relief on April 15th with tickets to go to the game for $10.40. Available only online.
There's a strike. You're going home to Tulsa, Oklahoma. You want me to give you directions?
No, I'm gonna busy with some family things going on.
No, here's what you need to do. Get on that tractor and get some things cleaned up out at the range.
Trust me, that will happen.
Making sure. Shattered bat, roller to Brignac. What a good inning for Chassin. Heart of the order, no problem. A strikeout, a fly ball, and a broken bat ground out. Chassin terrific again in his second outing. 3-1 Rockies. Pacheco, Brignac, Nelson to face Edinson Volquez. Hey, New Mexico fans. Isn't this appropriate? Jordan Pacheco's coming up and calling out the New Mexico fans. Are you the Root Sports Ultimate Fan? Show us why you are the Ultimate Fan by taking a picture through Instagram and tagging it with a Root Fan NM hashtag. For official rules, visit facebook.com/RootSportsRM. And here's the pride of New Mexico, Jordan Pacheco. A couple of ground balls to third.
Just got out quick on a changeup.
Here's a breaking ball for a strike. Volquez has turned this into a pretty good start, George.
He has, compared to what he did in New York, compared to the way it started in the first inning. Ball hit about every part of the ballpark in the first inning. Since then, 4 hits given up in the first inning, 3 since then. Here he is in the 6th inning in a 3-1 ball game.
Let's look at the scoreboard a little bit. The Giants are playing St. Louis today.
They jumped all over Matt
AT&T
Cain.
Park, yeah. In the 4th inning, they got 9 runs off Matt Cain.
Cain's out of the ball game.
Usually,
he got out after 4.
Yeah, if you give up 9 in one frame.
But he got out after 4. The bullpen hadn't done his job too well.
Yeah, he got charged for all 9.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Who came in after him?
This ball's pulled, foul. Maharis, who just gave up 1 hit and got a strikeout.
Well, that may be the worst start in Matt Cain's career. I would think it is. 9 earned runs in 1 start.
I
can't imagine that's happening.
Given up 9 in an inning before. 2-2. Rockies going out to San Francisco right after the ball game.
Follow the Rockies on your phone or iPad as they head out to the West Coast on MLB.@Bat13 app, featuring pitch tracking stats and a whole lot more.
Two. And a bullet base hit right back up the middle. Edinson Volquez did well to get out of the way.
Now Pacheco's so quiet. Look at his head. Never ever moves, and then here comes the pitch, and you better duck, big boy. You gotta get one off the noggin with this line drive.
Reed Brignac, and he lays down a bunt, and it's bobbled out at first base. Brignac checking with Bruce Dreckman. Renee Latchman's right there. He didn't say anything, and so evidently he was out, because Renee will chew on you if he disagrees.
Look at this one more time. See the bobble after the bobble. Yeah, really close. Dreckman, remember last night he made the same call. Look at it right here real quick. Foot down. Yeah, he's out. About 6 inches. Good call. Last night on Dexter Fowler was not a good call second by Bruce.
Had it all the way. Sacrifice 1-3 for Brignac. Chris Nelson at the plate. Big day for Will Middlebrooks of the Red Sox. He had 3 home runs today in Toronto. Drove in 4. Inside the division, the Diamondbacks and Brewers are in extra innings in Milwaukee, tied at 6. Aaron Hill's hit his second for the D-backs. One strike count on Chris Nelson. You got a pick on. Dodgers leading at home against the Pirates 4-2. They're in the 6th inning there. The only long ball, Andrew McCutcheon, his first of the year. Have auto glass damage? Call Safelite Auto Glass, America's vehicle glass experts. 303-287-5000, online at safelite.com. Way inside on Chris. Nelly, a former #1 pick. Kid from Georgia. Actually touched 100 miles an hour in high school. He would sit at 95, then he had Tommy John surgery and never went to the mound again.
Don't blame him for that.
Get the ball! Give him the beat.
2-1. Edgemer Escalona throwing in the Rockies' pen. Nelson 7th in the batting order. Johnny Herrera on deck. There's one out. Checo at second. Chris got a hanger there. A little bit too inside. Marquez. 96 pitches. And now the count runs full on Nelson. Looking at the Rockies lineup today, George, there are 7 homegrown players in the lineup.
I know what that tells you. Just you know, some of these guys a little bit older. They've been around the organization a while, but they're guys that have reached the big leagues through high draft picks. And time to mature, like a Nelson, like a Fowler.
Up the middle, Amarista makes the play. Pacheco to third.
Probably the fun part is a lot of guys like Fowler, Young, and Nelson, all very close friends throughout the whole minor league level.
The Rockies are going to walk Todd Helton out to the on-deck circle. So here's a little, this is, you know, the gamesmanship now. Walt Weiss got Bud Black over there, a veteran manager. And this is the 8-hole. Johnny Herrera up with first base unoccupied. Brad Brock throwing for San Diego. Johnny's 1 for 2. Actually robbed of a hit his first time up. Otherwise it'd be 2 for 2. They're going to pitch to him. Ball 1. a strike. This is an area that Todd is going to have to adjust to, because in his career he's used to playing when he's healthy, 150 games. He's going to play by design, as you know, a lot less this year, which means he's going to have to become a threat off the bench. You say, well, guys, he's always a threat. This ball is flared to short left field. It's going to drop. And Johnny Herrera drives in the 4th run. Hit him with the 8. And now you can pull Helt back and send up Chacin. So Johnny Herrera is dumping one into shallow left field for an RBI single.
Yeah, great pitch. I mean, it's kind of what happened to Volquez up in New York. Make good pitches. Guys flared on him. He gave up the run. He one flared here. Johnny doing a good job of not trying to do too much with the pitch, and it just dumps out into left field and gets the run across. A big run.
To finish the thought on Helt, I mean, he's been an extraordinary Hall of Fame type player, but in his relatively few times where he's been asked to pinch hit, it's not something he's done well.
No, he hasn't done well, and today he's the only left-hander on the bench. So you stick him up there and try to force the move.
This is shallow right field, though. Kotsay will get there. Todd in his career, 8 for 49 as a pinch hitter, just a 163 average. 4-1 Colorado. Wedge to left. Today's sideline report brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company. Secrets in the fire. It's a ready-to-eat superfood. You knew that, Jenny, didn't you?
I did know that, Drew. Thanks for the information, though. Hey, we will head off on a road trip after this game here, what hopes to be a sweep against the Padres at home. We'll see San Diego again next weekend in San Diego, but first, it's off to San Francisco. Let's check around the rest of the West and see what the pitching matchups entail. For the Giants, De La Rosa will go against Madison Bumgarner. Then we'll see Tim Lincecum on Tuesday, and on Wednesday it'll be Barry Zito. All 3 of those pitchers are off to a 1-0 start. Lincecum, after he struggled last year, he just went 5 innings in his first outing. Didn't give up any runs, but he walked 7 guys. So we'll see how he fares on Tuesday. And Barry Zito, again, continuing off the year he had so far. Right now, the Giants are playing St. Louis, and they're up 2-0 in the 5th. Guys?
All right, Jenny, thank you. Hey, you look at the 3 guys that the Giants are throwing out there. Nobody's given up a run yet.
Not a run. You're right.
Jerko swings and misses on the slider, and it's 1-2. Jed is 1 for 2. Singled, scored on the Denorfia double back in the 4th inning. Strike 3, inside corner. See you later. Chacin's second punch out of the ball game.
looks for so many breaking balls that, you know, the kid all of a sudden gets the fastball in her half, and he's a very good fastball hitter, just doesn't pull the trigger on it. Watch Werleen receive that baseball. See how far extended the arm is to keep it inside the strike zone.
1-0 on Denorfia. Diving stop, Brignac, throw to first, got it! Nice play, Reed Brignac.
Brignac really nice going to his right to get to this baseball, even though he's cheating a little bit up the middle. Still to go after this ball, knock it down, and then from the knees make a very strong, accurate throw over to Pacheco. You see Denorfia just kind of tilting his head backwards, saying, "Why me?"
Because you were the one who hit it.
That's right, and I was the one that had to catch it.
Amarista takes a strike. Alexi, 10 for 22 against the Rockies last year. He's 0 for 2 this afternoon. Ground ball to third, ground ball to short. 1-1. Well, Chacin went 6 2/3 in Milwaukee, gave up just a run on 3 hits. He's gone 6 2/3 in this affair, and he's given up just a single run. Think about this. Chacin, Frege, in 68 starts, 83 appearances in his young career, a 3.64 ERA. That's the lowest among any Rocky starter in the history of the franchise. It's now lower than Ubaldo, who had a 3.66.
Yeah, and it'll probably drop a little bit more.
Should.
1 earned run in 7 innings.
He was the Rockies minor league pitcher of the year a few years back. Remember, at 2 different levels, he ended up going 18-3. He got to the big leagues quickly. He is just 25.
Great changeup. When he was in Tulsa, and he went 8-6 before they called him up here, but when he went 8-3, his changeup was just devastating. Fastball changeup mix. Always had pretty good fastball command. And then kind of voided the changeup out for a while and went back to the hard slider. Now the changeup coming back to be a part of it.
3-2. And a base hit to left. That'll bring up John Baker. Who Wants Tacos fans? If you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more in a ball game for the Rockies Taco Special, text the keyword taco to 720-720. And it's going to be 6 2/3 again for Chacin, because Walt Weiss going to go and get the big right-hander. 99 pitches for Chacin. He's going to get a standing ovation, well-deserved, from the Purple Faithful. Well done, Jolice. He's 2 for 2, George, this year in outstanding starts. First guy that's going to greet him is Jeff Francis.
Ton of ground ball outs, no walks.
And that's become commonplace. The bear hug from the manager, Walt Weiss, after Jolie Chassin pitched another wonderful ball game. Edgmer Escalona will be asked to get the final out here, George, in the 7th inning. Amarista at first base, John Baker. 1 for 2 at the plate.
Yeah, good job that he had the other day in Milwaukee. He did a really good job. He's going to come in here with a runner on first, pound the zone. You got 2 outs, make him swing at it. Fastball range 90 to 96 miles an hour. And a slider to go along with it, but the out pitch, a running, sinking fastball.
Way inside, 2-0. So for the first time in a while, the Rockies don't have 2 left-handers in the bullpen, and the one left-hander they have is a true setup guy. He's a 7th, 8th inning guy. It's going to face, hopefully 3 hitters, full inning, and hand the baseball off to Rafael Betancourt on most nights.
Well, one of the guys they were counting on, Josh Outman's off to a pretty good start in AAA today. 2 innings, 4 strikeouts down there.
Good to hear.
They were losing in the ball game. Nick Schmidt started. Got roughed up a little bit, and then Josh Sullivan and Cody Woods got roughed up, so it's 10-0. Tyler Skaggs, the left-hander for the Arizona Diamondbacks, pitched. Arenado had the day off today.
He's off to a fabulous start. 3-0. That's in there, 3-1. Make a pitch here. That's rifled to right. Amarista will go first to third. EY sends it back in, and now we'll have a pinch hitter for Volquez, and it'll be Quentin. So, not surprisingly, Bud Black's going to play his big card here. He's got the tying run at the plate, and his best power threat, his everyday left fielder, will pinch hit. Quentin yesterday, 2 for 4, pair of doubles, scored 2 of the 3 Padre runs.
Well, if you throw out that first outing, and that was with Wilton Lopez giving up 3 runs, the Rockies bullpen 13 2/3, 132 earned run average, 11 hits, 10 strikeouts. They've walked 2, given up 2 earned runs.
Quentin's 3 for 7 in the series. All 3 hits are doubles. This is one of those moments. And he goes off speed and gets the slider over. 0-1.
Either thought that was a ball, or how did I take it? One of the 2.
Thought it was a ball. To third. Nelson goes the short way, and he gets it there in time. Good play, Chris Nelson. He gets the force on John Baker, and Escalona gets the dangerous Carlos Quentin. 4-1 Colorado. Stretch time. To advertise your business locally on the network's People Watch, go to ComcastSpotlight.com for details. Rockies up 4-1. 9 hits, providing the 4 runs. Great outing for Jhoulys Chacín. A run today in 6 2/3 innings. On 6 hits, he did not walk a batter, and he struck out 2. Joe Thatcher will be the new pitcher, the only left-hander in the Padres pen. And while we have a moment as Thatcher gets warm, take a look at our McDonald's game highlights. Rockies got right after Edinson Volquez in the first inning. Leadoff double by EY, and then Dexter Fowler pounded one to the back wall of the bullpen. In right center field, 2-0. After a double by Cargo, Reed Brignac served a double to left center field, 3-0 Colorado. 4th inning, the only run Chacín would give up, a 2-out double by Kristen Orfia to bring home Jed Jerko. 6th inning, the Rockies would get an insurance run. Herrera, Johnny on the spot, drops one just fair down the left field line. And Jordan Pacheco, who singled, comes around. 4-1's the score. Joe Thatcher on for the 3rd time this year. And the Rockies will have the top of the order. EY, Dexter, and Cargo.
You see, not throwing an awful lot of innings in 2 ball games. Left-handed specialists, they want to flip Dexter and Young around, and then, of course, having for Gonzalez, the left-handed hitter.
The double, a line out, and a ground ball to first for Junior. 1 for 3. That's a strike. Two strikes to count. To third, Jerko's just going to get EY by a step. Wilt Lopez getting loose for the Rockies. Dexter has started all 6 for Colorado, and he is hit in all 6. 2-run home run you just saw on the first. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second and stole second, his first bag of the year. Rounded to first, his 3rd time up. Well, what a performance as you see Lopez. What a performance again by Chacín.
Yeah, and really Escalona coming in too. He gave up the base hit, but he got out of it. I mean, Quinton was up. He had a nice shot right at Nelson, so the defense relied on that. You know, again, and I've said this again and again, if you have that type of bullpen that the Rockies have, and it was probably one of the strongest points of the team last year, if not the strongest, the starter gives you 6+ innings, get him out of there and let your bullpen handle it. I mean, Belisle brothers, Betancourt, those 3 right there are pretty dadgum good to run out there late in games. I think they aren't all locking in about right now. 3 guys sitting within a foot apart, not a word being said. You're really focusing on what your job may be.
And Dexter with another hit. This is a tweener, see if he goes for 2. He's turning on the jets, and he's going to get there standing up. His speed underway is amazing. It's breathtaking. George, I thought, man, it may be tough. Not only did he get there easily, he didn't even have to slide.
No slide whatsoever. And this ball, when it got flared out into right center field, and because of the way their alignment was set up, Venable came over. Kotze could have gotten to the ball first. Watch as the outfielders crisscross. You're going to see Kotze come into it, then you're going to see Dexter take off.
Remember last year we slowed it down? I was kidding. I said it's like 4 strides between bases. We slowed it down, and I mean, at 6'6", Cargo swings and foul tip. 0-1. At 6'6", George, I mean, it's not many strides between 90 feet.
No, it's not. I mean, when he really starts to let it get out there and get in the right spot to go. I mean, Dexter off to a tremendous start.
That misses 1-1. They have slowed it down and already broken it down in the truck for us. 14 strides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, see, you know what? He could have done it in 13. Those were itty bitty strides. That's one of the tougher guys left on left.
Gonzalez had pretty good success against him, though, over the course of their career. Gonzalez 3 for 10.
We'll be out there for Cargo, who had 85 last year, which led the Rockies. He was the fewest RBIs to lead the club in team history. And that includes lockout and strike seasons. So difficult a year last season was. I need not tell you that, though. You watched along with us. Beautiful thing about the game, you turn the page. Whether it's a bad outing on a Wednesday night, you turn the page to Thursday. A bad at bat in the 4th inning, you turn the page to the next time you come up.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a choice. Man, that is just like a unbelievable shot right in the forehead.
One out, Dex at second, 2-2. 3-2. Willian Rosario's on deck. Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-1 Colorado. Outside. Thatcher looked off in disgust. He lost Cargo, and Bud Black said, "You were out there for the first 3 to flip the switch hitters around and face Gonzalez. Now you got to go." With Rosario coming up 2 on and 1 out. So the lone lefty in the bullpen for San Diego departs. One out, 2 on in the 7th inning. Willian Rosario hitting cleanup this afternoon. Will face Anthony Bass, 3rd appearance for Bass. one of the very good arms that the San Diego bullpen possesses.
He made his major league debut here a couple of years ago. He threw a shutout, did very well against the Rockies as a starting pitcher. He's made a few starts at the big league level. They feel best suited for him to go to the bullpen. Fastball, slider, makes occasional curveball, but this is a good matchup as far as I'm concerned for Willeen, as long as the shadows don't get involved in it, because this guy's going to come right at you with a fastball. 10 games, 155 earned run average, 2-2, 500 record against the Rockies for Mr. Bass.
Willeen is 0 for 3. Ground ball to third, fly ball to right field, and he lined out to left in his last at bat. You came in with traffic, George. Did you run that inside move?
No. No, I'm concerned about a hitter. I want to get the hitter out. You know what? If I do make the pitch and I get the hitter out, I don't have to worry about him at second. I think when you start trying to do trick plays, you pull away from your concentration of what you're trying to accomplish, get ahead of guys. Boy, I tell you what, Baker, he is getting beat up back there. One off the forehead, off the knee.
John, there's a day off tomorrow, buddy.
Might have a couple coming.
And Padres, this is John's backup catcher. Padres.
That's right on top of that shin guard.
And it still hurts.
Oh, it killed you. I mean, it really hurts.
Baker is the backup. The Padres have tomorrow off. Tuesday's their home opener. They'll take on the Dodgers. And then the Rockies come to town on Friday. This ball is hit high in deep left field. Way back and gone. 3-run jack, Willeen Rosario. And the Rockies have broken it wide open. 7-1 Colorado. Third big fly for the Baby Bull. And tacos to boot.
Like the matchup, fastball pitcher on the mound and a very good fastball hitter. Oh, you can see Bass just squat to the knees. He knew it when it left his hands. This ball was gone.
And he sends baseballs on long distance flights, international flights.
Well, the other thing that, you know, in years past with the Rockies offense, put 3 or 4 on the board, then it calmed down. Here's another look coming right at you, folks. Boy, what great camera work this is.
You know, George is a good point. So far, the Rockies in this young season have been able to score early, and they've added on late. Think of the Kadire home run late.
Sure.
Milwaukee that made the lead much more comfortable yesterday. Dex goes deep, and a 4-1 game in the bottom of the 7th inning. You'll take that every time. You'll really take a 7-1 lead though.
Yeah, you will, and I think that's the biggest key to it now. If you want to, you can send Escalona back out again, because you know basically you got a 6-run lead now. It's not a 3-run lead where you're running with Lopez, your normal 8th inning guy. You save him for tomorrow if you choose to.
You and I chatted about this yesterday, George. First game back at home at Coors Field. I'm not just talking about Pacheco strikes out. I'm not just talking about this first game of the year. But anytime you come back off a road trip, Jeff Francis goes and gives you 6 strong innings and then 2 from Adam Ottavino. It sets you up with your bullpen being rested for the rest of the weekend, where so frequently we see bullpens, you know, 6 guys work out of the pen on a Friday. Next thing you know, you get to Sunday and 3 guys aren't available.
Well, and not only that, Drew, they're not available Monday either. You go on a road trip to Frisco and you're kind of like, hope you go 9.
And it's a lingering effect.
Absolutely it is. Carry over to it. The days of 60 appearances and 110 innings out of the bullpen, they're long gone. That doesn't happen anymore. You know, Matt Belisle last couple of years, 80 appearances, but less than 100 innings.
Reed Brignac takes low, 1-1. Here's the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo on this swing.
Yeah, what a thing of beauty. Tell you what, it's really getting perfected.
You know what that shows also, and if we could do that again, fellas in the truck and ladies in the truck as well. It shows that one of the myths of hitting a baseball, you know, you talk about creating backspin, yes, that it used to be it's a descending blow. It's getting on plane. Dante talks about this a lot also. It's getting on plane with the baseball. Watch the bat plane. It's not a descending blow. He's getting on plane with the flight of the baseball as it comes to the plate.
And because it is a power swing with a little bit of an uppercut swing to it, balls in the higher part of the strike zone work to their favor to have those kind of results.
Ooh, I don't agree with that, but Reed Brignac's got it. Gary Darling rings him up. In the inning, the Rockies tack on 3. Double by Fowler, walk to Cargo, big fly from the Baby Bull. 7-1 Rockies. George talked about Escalona is going to stay in the ball game with the sizable lead now. One pitch and he gets Cabrera on a ground ball to Johnny Herrera. Want the latest updates from Root Sports? Text alerts to 720-720 and receive text message updates all year long. Will Venable will step in, 0 for 3, top of the order. Combined 0 for 7.
Now another player missing out of their lineup that's going to be back pretty quick is Logan Forsythe. Had a pretty good year coming back in the second half, defensively and offensively. Things turned kind of ugly down in the spring, so now it's 14-0.
That can happen now.
Yep. 1 out to go in the ball game. Tyler Coleman 1 for 4. Ben Paulson 2 for 4. Charlie Blackmon 1 for 4. McBride 1 for 3. Starter was Nick Schmidt. 3 1/3, 8 and 4 for Schmitty. Altman 2 1/3 shutout innings. Josh Sullivan 1/3 of an inning, 5 runs. Cody Woods inning and 2/3, 2 runs. And Manship came back after throwing the other day in that long extended game, 15 innings. 1 inning, 2 hits, 3 runs, none of them earned.
Being able to throw Escalona here, talk about Matt Belisle's 80 appearances last year because of the 3-run home run making the lead. Very comfortable. Just popped up. That's an appearance for a Belisle or a Lopez at the end of the year instead of it being 75. You know, that's if you do this consistently, now they're in their upper 60s, low 70s, as opposed to hovering around 80 where Matty's been.
No question. And it gives you such a big difference for guys like Belisle, 4 brothers, but more Belisle. The last 2 years leading the league in appearances, then you get into August and September now, you've got a very strong Belisle to come in here and pitch you in the 7th and 8th inning and even give Betancourt days off if they have to, as he did a year ago. But you get into how many times last year because of the bullpen and the shortness of the bullpen. You know, that we saw Belisle come into games you'd never seen him in before, down 8-1, down 8-2, but they needed somebody to eat up some innings, and they pulled his name out of the hat.
2-1 on Mark Kotsay. Another ace got chewed up, spit out today. David Price gave up 8 runs for Tampa. How about Seattle trying to help their offense? They go get Michael Morse from the Nationals. He's got 5 jacks already.
Yeah, that happened quick, did it?
Take a look at the in-game box. You'll get a quick feel as to how effective Jhoulys Chacín was today. Cabrera 0 for 4, Venable 0 for 4. Kotsay had a couple of hits. Alonso, the cleanup hitter, nothing for 3. And that'll go foul. Long year for the rebuilding Astros. They're down 9. Or actually, they lost now 9-3 to Oakland.
How many strikeouts?
1 and 5. How many times did they punch out? Strike 3.
They've been doing that an awful lot lately.
Good inning for Edgemer Escalona. 1-2-3 in the 8th. 7-1 Colorado. Well, no one will ever forget that moment. 2007 winners of 21 out of 22. Anthony Bass throws a fastball by Chris Nelson here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-1, 1-1 count. Chris is 0 for 2 and a walk. Rockies ahead 7-1. 3 in the first. Got a run in the 6th inning on a Johnny Herrera bloop single, and then 3 last inning on the 3-run home run by Rosario. Check the swing, and it was outside. 2-1. And again, the Rockies with a multi-home run game. There's a base hit for Nelly. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. Now you know. CC Sabathia today beat Justin Verlander 7-0 the final. Verlander taking the defeat. Jason Nix started at shortstop for the Yankees today. The former Rocky hit a home run. Went 3 for 4 as well. Johnny's 2 for 3. Doing his thing, playing steady defense. First couple of hits of the year. And Johnny pulls this down the line. This is extra bases. It's going to roll to the corner. Chris Nelson is going to get a green light from Stu Cole. And he is going to score easily on a triple for Herrera. Atta baby, Johnny.
First start, couple of RBIs for Johnny Herrera. Jorvin Torrealba is going to be coming to the plate to pinch hit for Escalona. Fastball up, just got after it. I mean, you're never going to throw the ball by him. He's almost anticipated the ball coming to the end and a half, similar to the ball he hit earlier. Anytime you get a ball into the corner or down into some of these deeper gaps, it's just between you and the baseball, and it's off to the races.
Go, Johnny, go. The only out he made, George, it took a sensational play by Krista Norfia in the first inning, a sliding catch. Otherwise, Johnny would be staring at a 4 for 4 day. So again, the backups have stepped up. Reed Brignac and RBI double in the first inning. 3 hits and a couple ribbies for Herrera. Eric Young threw out a double and scored in the first. Jorvin Torrealba, the pinch hitter.
Chance to add on here too, because you got a runner at third, nobody out. Torrealba up.
This is a shrewd move by Walt Weiss. It's a big lead, 8-1. And of all the guys you could pick, you have 5 different guys you can go to off the bench. Pick the guy who you know is going to catch tomorrow. Give him an at-bat in preparation for 3 or 4 tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of managers will do that. A lot of times they'll throw a guy out there that they know is going to get in the ball game tomorrow. He hasn't caught since De La Rosa threw over in Milwaukee.
And he's going to throw out a base hit and get his first RBI of the year. Jorvin Torrealba. He's used to knocking in runs late ball games for the Rockies. 9-1 Colorado.
Yeah, Bass catching the brunt of this pretty good. That 3-run home run he gave up to Rosario. He struck out 2, now 3 straight hits.
Thatcher, by the way, ends up working a third of an inning, gets tagged for a couple of runs. Give up a hit and a walk. Jhoulys Chacín in line for his first victory of the year. 6 2/3, a run on 6 hits, didn't walk anybody. There's a base hit to right. Also a couple of punch outs for Chacín. Second hit for EY. And the Rockies now have 15 knocks in the ball game. Darren Balsley going out. What do you say here, George?
Well, I mean, you're sitting there trying to say, hey, we're going to try to save the bullpen. We're not getting anybody else up here, and I know you're getting beat up a little bit, but let's throw a few change-ups, get the ball down, and try to get out of here. You don't have anybody out. We need to get a ground ball out. Rockies today 5 for 11 with runners in scoring position. They are hitting .380, 19 for 50 on the season. It's just not a fun offense to go face right now. Plain and simple.
You have to stay relentlessly positive if you're a skipper, but Black.
And that's hard to do
Good
sometimes. It's really hard to get guys to buy into it the whole time. It looks like Lopez still stretching a little bit for the Rockies. Brock is loosening up for the Padres. Lopez stretching a little bit, waiting until they get one out to get back up on the mound.
Fowler in the ball game, 2-run home run. Reached on a fielder's choice and stole a bag in the second, grounded out in the fifth, and doubled and scored in the seventh. That was a lift and separate hack.
Getting games like that is fun. Everybody's getting base hits, scoring a lot of runs. The last thing you need to do is get hurt, though. Just try to play your game the way you like to. But I tell you, we talked about this, Drew. When you have their offense to hurt, there's a lot of their big guns out of it. Talking about Headley, that's out of the situation. Even Forsythe, just having a regular that's not in their lineup. You've got to take advantage of that when you can. And you've got to go after the Padres and try to sweep 3 games from them. Right now, the Rockies on track to do that.
Dexter pulled it to second, and they're able to turn a double play. You don't see that frequently. A 4-6-3 turn on Fowler. Torrealba to third, and with 2 outs, that'll bring up Cargo.
Coca-Cola value packs, they're back. That's right. Available every value game, including April 15th to the 18th for either the $59 or $79, depending on the seat location you choose. 303 Rockies, or just go to Rockies.com. That first value pack coming in, the Mets are here. And the Mets are a very improved ball club.
Inside on Carlos. Cargo is single and a double and a walk today, 2 for 3, averaging .375. Nope, 2-0. 2 out runners in scoring position. In 2011, Cargo hit a ridiculous .468, which led all of baseball. Last year, he hit .302, and that's a good number. Toyota Talk will continue in the post-game show. Text Toyota to 720-720. You can be part of the program. Joel Klatt, Jeff Houston standing by. The Cowboy. Cowboy here today? This ball's ripped foul.
Absolutely. Sure. Hey, real quick, I forgot all about this. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble. A good friend of mine, Marley, turned 6 today. I know we don't do a lot of birthdays, but this was a real close friend of mine. I just want to say happy birthday. Who's this behind you? Speaking of Cowboys. Cowboys getting suited up, folks. He's about ready for that post game.
I was just saying hello to a real Cowboy, too.
I know you were.
Miss from the Sea Lazy U, who rode in and threw out the first pitch today. I saw that. Or he's down on the field for the first pitch. I saw that. Beautiful place up in the mountains. 9-1 Colorado. At Southwest.com. By McDonald's. Try McDonald's new Premium McWrap, a fusion of crispy or grilled chicken and fresh veggies. I'm loving it. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by StubHub, fans, next time you plan a trip to Coors Field, head to StubHub, where you can find great seats and earn great rewards. 9-1 Colorado, and the brooms appropriately are out. Joel Klatt, this is going to be a fun one to describe in the postgame show.
Yes, it will. You're exactly right. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to start with Jolius Chassin because he's hitting the ground running this season. First 2 starts, very quality starts, and all the ground ball outs today in today's ball game. That was obviously good to see. Plus, Drew, in the last couple of years, the Rockies have had their struggles on Sundays. In fact, only 11 wins in the last 2 years. So getting a win right off the bat in this year's Sunday debut, I'm just going to give you a little hallelujah. What do you think about that?
I didn't know you could hit that note.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Just on Sundays, though, and only for Sunday wins, though. That's it.
And listen, they've been few and far between. We know that last couple of years.
That's right. In fact, they had a stretch they lost 17 in a row. So to get one right off the bat this year, I'll do it again. Hallelujah.
Yeah, that is apropos. All right, we'll check with you in a few minutes, Joel. Wilton Lopez is on to throw the 9th inning. And Yonder Alonso is his first subject. Alonso's 0 for 3 in the ball game.
And he needs to come in here and pitch a little bit at Coors Field, try to have a little confidence boost, a little get used to the ballpark type thing for Lopez. He got roughed up that first night. 3 runs given up in the 8th inning, but this guy, very good relief pitcher for the Houston Astros a year ago. Just pounds the strike zone. Typically it's a hard sinker, a lot of ground ball outs.
1-2. Escalona, nice job.
Yeah, inning in the 3rd. Nice that he was able to go back out for the 2nd inning. They had everything set up for Lopez to come on and pitch the 8th. Now here pitching the 9th.
Crowd of 31,060. Here's your ground ball. Jordan Pacheco has it, 1 out. Another way you know that the Rockies, George, are pitching well. They're getting on the rubber, throwing strikes, getting early outs and counts. Typically at Coors Field, what do you see? 3 hour 20 minutes, 3 hour 30 minutes.
Absolutely.
Even longer. All these games this weekend are going to be under 3 hours.
And that is a nice thing about it because you're making plays behind your pitchers who are putting the balls in play. And you're not walking people, so you're working ahead in counts. It's everything that the Rockies have tried to preach all spring long. Let's just hope it continues.
Jed Jerko, a single back in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 3. Diamondbacks, by the way, held on in 11 innings. Eric Hinsky, the home run in the top of the 11th. The difference, they sweep Milwaukee, so the Diamondbacks are off to a 5-1 start. Good change up there. Guess who gave up the home run again, George?
Who?
Axford.
Rough start.
Yeah,
oh boy, that's a rough start for him. Feel for him.
Line drive left field. Carr goes there. 2 outs. Denorfia 1 for 3. Outside, ball 1. Chris tried to hit the old 8-run home run there.
Yeah, sure did. A lot of frustration built up in there right now. A lot of their hitters, with the way they've opened the season up, swinging the bats. Not this one, though. He's swinging well.
On the ground toward the hole, and that's going to be a base hit. Alexi Amarista will get another turn. Royals over the Phillies today, 9-8. Shields beat Hamels in that game. Dodgers now in the 9th inning have a 6-2 lead on the Pirates. Cardinals in the 8th now leading the Giants at AT&T 11-2. Reds off to a good start. They've had 2 tough series. They took 2 of 3 from the Angels, took 2 of 3 from the Nationals. This is fair down the right field line. And Denorfio will get a stop sign. It's going to be a double for Amarista. That'll bring up John Baker. Mets beat the Marlins 4-3. Mets are 4-2. Marlins just 1-5. Braves over the Cubs 5-1. Did you see that last night? B.J. Surhoff.
No.
Upton. Justin Upton ties it. No. B.J. ties it. Justin Upton wins it.
Yeah.
Justin's got 5 home runs now.
That's why they got him.
A special moment for the Upton family.
Yeah, you think? I like the interview. The poor little girl that was doing sidelines that night, she wouldn't work. She got a Gatorade shower.
The teammates got them both. 2 different jugs of Gatorade. One on BJ, one on Justin.
A fun time. Atlanta off to a great start. We have tape. You want tape? We got tape. We've got it everywhere. Oh, that was fun, wasn't it? Okay, I'm not doing any more interviews. That outfit, you think it's gone?
Hey, it's at the dry cleaner. As we speak, that's at the dry cleaner. 2-1 on John Baker. Two outs in the 9th, 9-1 Colorado. Crowd standing, 2-2 count on Baker. In the air, center field. Dexter waiting. He's got it. The Rockies have swept the Padres, and they've won 5 consecutive ball games, off to a 5-1 start in 2013. In fact, it's only